Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining me today at Juanette's Crafting Corner. Before we get started on today's Quick Tip Thursday, which will be number episode 3, one of my subscribers, Jean, and her YouTube channel is Found Treasures by Jean. I will link her channel in the description box below. Jean also sells a lot of things on her channel, and I have bought many doilies and fabric and books and laces over the years from Jean. So go over and check out her channel. But her suggestion, because she does not have a die cutting machine or dies, what she does to embellish her religious or holy cards is she glues lace around them. Then she adds another backing piece, and that helps hold that lace in place. So isn't that just a beautiful card? Great idea, Jean. Thanks so much. So for today's quick tip, let's say, for instance, you want to embellish a glassine bag, and all you have is a white one, and you don't want to take the time to coffee dye it. And what you want to do is adhere your rice paper to it, which is also fairly white. I'm going to show you what I do. I take my half watered down Mod Podge and water. So it's got half Mod Podge, half water. I put some in a small container. And then I add a few drops of whatever brown ink you want to use. And I'm going to use ground espresso. And I'm just going to add a couple of drops in there. That one just wants to stick there. And then I'm going to stir it up just with my paintbrush. And you can see it's starting to get that nice brown color. And actually, if you can see, there's a lot more of that brown on that brush than there is in that glue, but it's still a nice dark color. Now, if you want it to be darker, you could always add a little bit more ground espresso in there, but I think that's going to be okay for this. All you have to do is put it on your glassine envelope everywhere. And I kind of like how that's making it look really dark in some other areas too. See those little speckles there? That's kind of cool. So it's everywhere. Then I'm going to lay down my image, which again is pretty white in color. And then I'm just going to go over it again. Do you see how nice that is turning out? Such a nice dark color. And when this dries, I will show you guys what it looks like. And then whatever glue I don't use, I just pour it in a little container. Now, again, remember I'm a nurse, so maybe I shouldn't go down that road. Oh, well, what the heck, I am. So, I was labor and delivery nurse, and if a mom had to go to have a C-section done, we'd have to put a catheter in her bladder for her to go to the operating room. And in every kit that has a catheter, urinary catheter, they would have these containers, and they were sterile. They're great little containers. Well, we didn't need to send off a urine sample on the patient because she already had one done. So all of us nurses bring those containers home for whatever, everything we do. So then you can see it's on, the entire area except for this one area right up there. And what I will do, just because I don't want to glue by accident the inside, because I want to be able to put something in there, once this is all dry, then I will come back with just a little bit of ground espresso ink and put that on there. So my bag is completely dry, and I do love the color of it, with the exception of this one part right here, which is a little bit whitish color. I am going to take my vintage photo and my blending brush and just come in there and darken that up a little bit, and even on that one edge there. And then it will blend in nicely. And it looks like this flips up here a little bit, so I'm going to need to take a little bit of glue and glue that down. And then as I look inside it, I see it's still a little bit white in there. And so when you open up the journal, you open up that pocket, you're going to see that. So I'm going to come in with my blending brush and go in there a little bit further back in here. So if you just open up your bag and bring in your blending brush and run it across, then you'll be able to get in there pretty good. Oh, and I brought, even though I glued that down, I ran that blending brush right over it and opened it back up. There we go. Okay, so that came out quite nice. So let's make a journaling card real quick to fit in here. And what I have pulled out is a print that I had made for that 6-fold journal. This is from Medieval Mirage. And my bag it's a pretty good sized bag. That's why I thought like this image would be good. So the bag is definitely a good 4.5 and over 6 inches. So I'm going to cut this 6 inches by 4.5. And let's just make sure that this will fit in this bag. And it does. And I actually could have made it a little bit taller. But anyway, it's going to work out because we'll put a topper on it to pull it out with, okay? So the next thing I want to do is let's round these corners because the image has an oval there. And I've got this. It is a We Are Memory Keepers corner punch, and I like because it has 3 different sizes. Because this is a pretty good size image, I am going to use the larger corner rounder. And then I'm going to take my blending brush and go around it just a little bit. And what I did when I printed this off, it was printed on my Epson paper, which is a pretty thick paper. I did go ahead and print lightly another image on the back side so it wouldn't be stark white. And then the next thing is let's find a pretty good sized topper for that. And in my drawer just to the right of me, I have several little boxes. I'm going to show you. This may be another little tip for you. These are 3 different size boxes of tags and toppers. I have just the small little circular ones. That won't work because this is a pretty good size journaling card. Here's some pretty good size ones. Oh, that's a nice one. That's really nice and big. And that would help that come up for the top, toward the top. However, I don't like the coloring of that. I wish I had another one like that. Oops. Let's see here. No. This one could maybe work out okay, although I wish it was a little bit taller. I don't know if that's going to go. Let's look here. Nope, I want it bigger. So actually, I may just go and print some ones like this. So, oh wait, ooh, there you go, sister. Turn it around, and that's better. All right, there, we picked it. I forget that paper is double-sided. So, oh my heavens, guys. I'm making your ears like make you jump. But the nice thing is with editing, I can turn that big loud noise down. Yeah, this is perfect. I like this one. Okay, let's add some glue onto it. Now, another little tip. I like when I'm going to be adjusting something, I like my beacons 3-in-1 glue as opposed to my art glitter glue. The art glitter glue dries fairly quick and it doesn't give you a lot of time to move things, but this Beacons 3-in-1 glue does. So let's just add this on here. See, I can move that around a little bit. Okay. I do like that. The other thing though that as I'm looking at it, I want these corners rounded off. So let's bring in that corner punch again. I think it'll just look a little bit better. I hope I can get this in here. Sometimes you can't get it in. See, this is impeding it. Shoot. That's not going to work. I have another corner rounder. Let's see if this will work. Ah, yes. Yay! This is the crocodile corner rounder. Except for it won't fit in there. Isn't that interesting that the one side will fit, but this one won't? Well, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to take our little scissors and we're just going to round this off on our own. Actually, that isn't bad at all. I'm going to go on this one a little bit more. Not too bad there, Hewitt. Not too bad at all. And then let's re-ink it. Yeah, see, I think that looks a little bit better to have those rounded corners. Now, what I'm going to do to embellish this is, number one, I think I need to have something up there. So I'm going to dig into my Italian book page pack and just find a tiny little scrap of Italian book page, and that just works perfect. just to have some little something up there so it's not so stark. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually trim it down smaller because I'm going to put it there and then I'm going to wrap it around so it goes around to the back. And for this, I am going to use my glue stick. Sometimes I don't know why I pick one thing over another. It's just, I think, with years of crafting, you learn after a while which will work. And boy, that came out goopy. But let's just lay this on here. And then bring it around so there's some in the back. That's crooked. Let's bring it up. See, again, nice with the glue stick that it does. Ooh, that is goopy. Let me grab a baby wipe, guys. Did you see that? Well, we're just going to leave that like that. That makes it look old. All righty. So the next thing I want to do is I want to embellish the flower a little bit. And to do that, I'm just going to grab a tissue and dry this off. Boy, that just tore like crazy, but I think it'll be okay. I think that makes it look even older. Okay, so to embellish this flower now, what I want to do is I want to bring in some Nouveau drops for them. And I have 3 colors that I have picked out. I have picked out this green. It is called Bottle Green. Then I have a pink. It's called Heritage Rose. And then a darker pink one. And it is called Postbox Red. It may be a little bit too much for there. Let me just start with this light pink and let's see how this looks. Sometimes it doesn't go on very well and I do have to wipe it off, but let's just bring some in and you just run it down. And just follow the lines and it will dry perfectly solid. I don't think I'm going to do that red down at the bottom. And then, well, actually, I take that back. I am going to take a little bit and I'm going to see what color it is. Actually, that's pretty close. I'm just going to do a little bit. it comes out a little bit thicker than than that other one. So what I've done is I've squeezed it on, but it was thick, so then without squeezing, I just ran the tip through there. And then let's do this green. Okay, I think that is good enough. So when that dries, I will show it to you. My Nouveau drops have dried beautifully, and I'm going to bring it up close to the camera so you can see the dimension that that gives you there. It's very subtle, but it's still absolutely beautiful. And it fits nicely into my glassine bag. And I love the way this came out, to where that just shows a little bit of that Italian book page. And so that's ready to go into a journal. I did make another one, and you can see that my coloring of my Mod Podge was a little bit different. This was a lighter color, so it came out lighter. This is again just some rice paper, some Italian book page, and the journaling card I made for that was a freebie from Artie Mays. It's a trifold card, and it fits in there. My next journal is going to be a botanical journal, floral botanical, and so I'm gathering everything for that journal. And I just wanted to show you again real quick what happens with those Nouveau drops. I hope that is nice and focused, but it just adds a tiny little bit to your project. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me today on this Quick Tip Thursday, and I will see you guys again next Thursday. Thanks, and bye-bye.